Hello, I'm Cathrine Hatcher. I'm an image communications expert. You might be asking yourself, what does that mean? Well, what I do is help people like yourself, communicate more effectively by using all the forms of communication that we can use. We have verbal communication. Those are the words I'm using to speak to you right now and the words you use to communicate your message. But we also have nonverbal communication. That can encompass many different things. It can include your body language and your facial expressions. It also can include the clothing that you wear. And one of my favorite things that communicates for you is color. Today I want to talk about using the psychology of color to communicate. According to the Institute for Color Research, all human beings make a subconscious judgment about a person, place, or thing within 90 seconds, and that between 62 and 90% of that assessment is based on color alone. It's important to understand the human response to color. Colors can attract or distract you. Colors can make you feel good or angry and anxious, and they can affect your decision-making process. It's no accident that restaurants and grocery stores and furniture stores and all the various places you shop paint their interiors in various different colors. Today I want to talk about how you can use color more effectively to communicate your message by supporting your verbal message by using color. I created the Wardrobe Color Guide. This is basically a chart that lists all the potential colors that you can wear, and in the next column, their learned or psychological responses to them, and in the final column, when to wear it. And in case you get a little bit confused, on the reverse side is when not to wear those colors. Let's talk about a few of my favorite colors. First, let's talk about red. Red is an important color and a very powerful color. Not that it exudes power, but it has so much power. Red actually increases the heart rate when we first see it. It makes your blood pressure go up. There are 2 times we as humans have our heart race when we're not even thinking about it, and that's during passion and anger. So red can communicate both ends of that spectrum. Red also can be used to get more information across because the heart rate is increased. It actually pumps more oxygen into the brain, and you tend to remember more things. So if you have a really heavy content delivery to make, a presentation at work, wear a little splash of red, and those that are in that presentation will remember more of what you say. On the opposite end of the spectrum is blue. Blue actually slows the heart rate down, especially the lighter shades of blue. Hospitals will paint certain walls in the cardiac units blue, and the doctors and nurses wear blue scrubs. That helps the patient to relax a little bit, and the heart rate will slow down a little bit. If you're having a bad day at work, one of the best things you can do is go to a window and look at the blue sky, if it's available. And as you're watching that blue sky with those white puffy clouds, you will notice that your heart rate actually goes down. Now, when you get to the mid-tone blues and even your navy blues, there are lots of messages communicated that were learned over time. Back in the days of Aristotle, it was difficult to make blue dyes, and so Aristotle proclaimed them to be more valuable than 10 times their weight in gold. They had to smash a specific sea snail to get the blue dyes from them to make the dyes for clothing. Therefore, only kings and queens and commanders of armies could wear blue. I like to ask people, how many smashed sea snails do you suppose it took to create a king's robe or a commander's uniform? Because they were the only ones that really got to wear that color. And over time, that color has still carried with it the high esteem that comes from when it was worn by the kings and the commanders. To this day, if you wear blue, you sort of give others the feeling of high esteem and sincerity and honesty. Therefore, it's a really great color to use if you're in sales. And one other little tip with blue. 80% of people like the color blue. It's their favorite color. If you ask 80% of people you know, what's your favorite color? Most of them will respond with blue. So, when in doubt, blue's a great color to wear. I have many more tips that I could share with you, but I think now's the time for you to go visit my website. Please come visit me at personasid.com. That's personasid.com. And I would love to share more with you. Follow me on Twitter at Cathrine Hatcher and find me on Facebook. Let's become friends. Hopefully I'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much.